Wednesday. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to go ahead and get started with some quick announcements before we bring in our awesome speaker. I'm so excited, you guys, but I want to welcome you to our September monthly meeting. So welcome. Thanks for being here, everyone. This is an interactive session, so your cameras are working, your mics are working, and our speaker is going to want to hear from you later tonight. So get nice and warm, get mentally prepared as I let you guys know what's going on here at BPM RIA. Absolutely, Deb. BPM RIA, as you guys know, this is Broward, Palm Beach, Miami-Dade Real Estate Investors Association, your only chapter here in South Florida that is approved and in compliance with the National RIA, that is the National Real Estate Investors Association. My name is Alexa, COO at BPM RIA, and we have an awesome monthly meeting for you guys. We have Marco Kozlowski. He's back. He will introduce himself in just a moment, but he is a creative real estate mentor. He's an author. He's an expert. He knows what he's doing, and he's helped so many people. Oh, gosh, guys, you will see in just a moment. So he's going to teach you guys how to discover the fastest path to cash flow. But just to get us off on a super positive note, and let me go ahead and disable the waiting room so you guys can come on in as you please. So to get us off on a really positive note, I will be raffling a free membership to you guys. So as you know, we always like to have fun at our monthly meetings. So if you're interested in the raffle, all you need to do is text the word membership to our event line. It's 954-800-6961. So go ahead and text the word membership to that number that you see on the screen. I also popped those details in the chat box for you guys. So good luck. I'll announce the winner at the very end. Hopefully I don't forget you guys. Make sure that I let you know at the very end. All right, you guys, upcoming events. We have so many free webinars for you guys. So go ahead and get registered for these free webinars. Please take advantage. This is like having like a lunch with the CEO. It doesn't come by often. So take advantage. Ask your questions, live Q&A, so much to take advantage of. Go to the website, link is in the chat, bpmria.com. Click that upcoming events button and you'll see the descriptions, the registration links, all that good stuff. Next week, you guys, we have a three-peat. We have a triple webinar week. And don't hate me, it's because I'm going to be out of the office for the week of September 16th. Not sorry, love you guys. I have a big event that week for one of the masterminds here, and I can't wait. Super excited for that. So love you guys. Triple webinar week next week. We'll pick it back up the following week with Lot Side, formerly Pelago, and then right back to another monthly meeting. So let's do it, you guys. Let's lock in. And my favorite way to keep up with events, super easy. Text the word BPM REIA, all one word, no spaces, to our event line, 954-800-6961. You'll get those text updates for our upcoming events with the registration link. Super convenient and easy. Go to the chat for the details for that, because we're going to keep on going. Our next boot camp, as you guys know, is November 16th and 17th. We're going to discuss wholesaling and rehabbing. We'll have 4 guest speakers, and this is completely led by our CEO and lead mentor, Anish Dave. We have member and non-member pricing. So go ahead and click the link if you're interested in learning wholesaling and flipping with our local team here at BPM RIA. All right, members, as you know, you get all the goodies. You get the National RIA benefit package. You get in free for our 4 quarterly networking meetings. And you also get your guests in at half price for $10. And anything we do charge for, you're going to save a couple dollars with that member pricing. So go ahead and get your memberships now before the next quarterly meeting. So you have a nice smooth entry for free and you get those benefits. Huge discounts: Home Depot, Avis Budget, Rent Perfect, Millennial Insurance, Cama plans. Oh gosh, so many vendors, you guys. So go get your memberships. You can go to the website right now and get that. Last but very not least, one-on-one coaching and mentoring here at BPM RIA. Many of you guys know that we do offer one-on-one coaching and mentoring. You are matched with your own personal mentor. I invite you to go to the website and book your discovery call if you have no idea what I'm talking about, so I can get you the detailed brochure with the breakdown as well as the pricing for you guys. My email is also in the chat, so go book your discovery call with me so I can get you those details, and I'll be more than happy to book a free consultation with a mentor for you. But last but very not least, once again, you guys, I have access to third-party funding. So if you're looking to fund your education, all you need to do is scan the QR code you see on the screen. You'll be connected with the third-party funding agency, Ease. They're super nice, super friendly. All you need is a minimum 620 credit score, $35,000 verifiable income. It'll be a soft credit pull, and you'll get the same day response. So if you do it tonight, you'll get a response by tomorrow. All right, you guys, let me know if you need that link from me. I'm here to help. And always want to take a moment to thank you guys so much for showing up today for your business, to learn, to educate. I heard recently in another event we had, the issue with this industry is the lack of knowledge on the products that are available. And I really do believe that we're here to educate you guys on the products, on the people, you know, what you need to do to be successful. So want to thank you guys for being here. Want to thank Marco for taking the time tonight. Let me get off the screen here and let you guys know again that tonight is an interactive session. So cameras are on, mics are on. Marco's going to ask you guys questions tonight, you guys. He's gonna be engaging with you all. So I just need you guys to get mentally prepared. You know, if you don't have your water, make sure you go grab that or drink or whatever, you know, drink responsibly. Just kidding. But you guys, I'm gonna be sending helpful links in the chat for you all throughout tonight's session. We do want to make sure that we get your questions, so please put those questions in the chat as well. We don't want to miss those, and we don't want you to forget them either. We want you to come on camera and ask them, but you know, Marco is going to take lead tonight. He's going to let you know how he's going to run tonight's call to make it as productive and, you know, get your questions answered, but he also has things that he needs to get through. So let's get the questions in the chat. And then when he's breaking for questions, when, you know, when he says it's okay, this is Marco's night, guys. So we're going to listen to him. He knows what he's doing. He's helped so many students, and you guys, he's really good on social media too. So for my business owners out there, if you're looking to get even, you guys, there's so much to learn from Marco, not just his insane strategies. So definitely take note of the strategies, please, but also just analyze him, ask him the questions, and just most importantly, you know, pay attention, please. And I'll be recording tonight's session, so please look out for that recording. And yeah, I'll be here for you guys. So make sure that you pay attention, please, and take notes. And
thank you.
Be ready.
Is it my turn?
Marco, please, like let's have you on here because I'll be rambling all night. We need.
Oh no, I'll be rambling too. I'll get.
No, so we need your expertise here.
So if you do have your camera on and available, it would be great because I can see that you're there. Listen, I have a face for radio myself, so I get it. You know, we're here to have fun. Hopefully some of you remember how to do that. I live in Florida. I'm originally from Montreal, from Canada, and bought my first property in '99 in Syracuse, New York. Was a concert pianist, had 4 kids when I was 24, married at 18, stayed home dad, tired of being broke. Saw an infomercial product, Carlton Sheets, digested that and used the information to generate money. In fact, I got paid the day that I bought the property back in '99. And ever since then, every transaction I've ever done, I've always been paid to do it. So I have some rules. 1, you never use your own money. 2, risk is forbidden. So no money of your own. Risk is forbidden. No use of your credit. It's not get rich quick. There's some skills that you have to learn. And if you're willing to put in some effort, in fact, putting less effort than you probably do at your, I call it a jail OB, where you're basically given a paycheck. And I believe a paycheck is the drug that wealthy people give you in order to give up on your dreams. And I want to empower you if this is something you do want to do. I believe you're in this group for a specific reason, I think. And this is just as a sidebar, this is a meeting where if you are, sneezing or you're coughing or having a conversation with somebody else, or you're yelling at your kids because they got out of the cage, whatever's going on, we can hear that. And the worst I've ever seen is someone taking a shower, and for some reason we couldn't turn off their video. And once you see something, you can never unsee it, and it's extremely disturbing. All right. So I'm actually not in my office where I usually am. I'm actually doing an event right now called Calling for Cashflow. Basically, segregate people in a room, and in 3.5 days, everyone leaves with deals in hand from all over, and they come from all over the world, and they buy properties all over the country. So it's a really great environment right now to buy properties. Usually, people have 3 things that stop them, and before I go down the rabbit hole, I'll just give you a quick snapshot again on what I've been doing for the last 25 years, because I've been at this for 25 years now. My philosophy is always the fastest path to cash flow, period. I'm not in the real estate business at all. I'm in the cash flow business. Yeah, you can buy some real estate. Yeah, you can wholesale a property and make some money on it. I get it. And I think it's when you're first starting out, you need money, you need it now. And I understand that. But and again, I'm not, I don't want to take it away from any strategy, because there's a lot of different strategies that you can do. But in a very short period of time, you can actually do one transaction and get paid for 30 years, which is what I'm going to talk about today. So I don't know if anyone has any interest in working once and getting paid for 30 years instead of working once and only getting paid once. So for those, I'm gonna hit a button in a second. If I see your video, I'm going to be able to interact with you. If I don't see your video, I'm actually not going to know you're even in the room. It's going to hide everyone that doesn't have video participation on it, which means if you have a question, the only way to ask a question is to take something that's on your screen, wave. You can definitely hit the I have a question button. Actually, let's stick to that because I think people are used to it by now. I was doing Zoom meetings before Zoom meetings actually, like, people knew about Zoom way before the pandemic, because my students are really from all over the world buying in the US. Since the money sources that we have that don't require money or credit are actually all based in the US and lend in the US only. So we don't really have lenders that are outside of the US. So it doesn't matter if you have a social security number or not. The US is a great place to make a lot of money. So like I said, I live in Orlando, kind of down the street from you. And I do have right now about 6,000 units under management. So quite a few hotels, motels, mobile home parks. Single families here and there. We're going to talk about single families. I just did a couple transactions in Orlando, and one in Boca, which is I think around the corner from you guys. So yeah, so a lot of volume, and do about 1,500 units a month on average, and yeah, and no money, no credit. So if you guys are interested in knowing how to do a tremendous amount of volume, have fun, because I can see some of you haven't had fun in a while. I'm a little concerned. But and I do say things that are just off the wall because I like having fun, and I'm very serious about having fun. And the more fun you have, the better you do. This is probably one of the only businesses where you can literally be the village idiot and make millions of dollars. There's not a board that's telling you what to do and how to do it. There's no license to be taken away. You don't need a college degree. You can just do what others have done to get amazing results. And if you can put one foot in front of the other, you can remember to do a couple things, and you just have the right conversation with the right person, because you can never have the wrong conversation to the right person. Like if someone is really needing to sell, you can do a lot of things and it still works out. So the key is really sifting and sorting who's motivated, who's not motivated, and how we can really serve them at the highest level, which is really the root of what I do. Because I believe that you have the God-given right to be wealthy. And I mean wealthy with time, wealthy with money, wealthy with relationships, wealthy spiritually, wealthy in all ways, but through the service of others. This is not about how much we can take. This is all how much we can give. So if you like to give, you have a giving heart, but you also want to take care of your family. So I know a lot of people give, people take. And the problem is if you're with a lot of takers and you don't recognize that, you're giving to the wrong people and in the wrong way. So I'm going to show you how to be in the flow of a transaction. So you're getting the flow of the money and get paid, like I said, multiple times. So I don't know if that has any interest whatsoever in about an hour that we have together. Do my best. I'm going to try to take this as step by step as possible. I'm going to show you some data, real actual data. And for those that love data, they look at a spreadsheet, they get all excited. If I look at a spreadsheet, I start falling asleep. So everyone has, different strengths and weaknesses. I'm a people person. If you're a people person, that's fine. But I have to go through really a few things so you really understand the opportunity. Okay. So yeah, was broke, concert pianist. I don't know if you know the difference between a musician and a large pepperoni pizza. A large pepperoni pizza can actually feed a family of 4. And I was tired of paying my Visa with my MasterCard with my American Express, always doing the credit card fandango. And one day I realized if I didn't take the bull by the horns and take responsibility for my family's future, I would be broke for the rest of my life. And that's when I started going down the journey of real estate, started doing small properties, then went into luxury stuff. I know there's no luxury properties in South Florida. They're all, very, very cheap. There's no big things in there. You're gonna see a couple luxury deals that we've done. And yeah, and the bigger the property, the bigger the paycheck, and the bigger the monthly cash flow as well, which you'll see shortly. So I went, and from there, hotels, motels, and a whole bunch of other asset classes. And today I'm going to empower you if this is something you want to do. I'm going to open up for questions. I'm going to take it step by step. And again, if your video is not on and you ask a question, I'm just going to make the assumption that you're not paying attention. And I do this. I teach those that want to learn because I want to empower people that really don't have the tools, the skills, or even know that it's possible to have things that you never thought you could have at your fingertips. I don't come from a wealthy family at all. And when you start building wealth, and now I'm into 3 different private equity funds. Private equity funds, I own 3 of them. I'm the GP of 3 private equity funds. And it's really interesting from absolute zero, no social security number, and buying tons of houses, mobile home parks, hotels, motels, and having all this wealth, rubbing shoulders with different people as we start going into higher levels. And instead of forgetting where I came from, I made a decision back in 2009 when my spouse decided to take $11 million and everything that we had, literally in cash, and left me homeless. I actually tried to commit suicide twice. I was so sad that she had basically, it's not the mother of my kids, my second wife. I lived in Las Vegas, and a homeless man pretty much saved my life by telling me to wear Red Sox. And I know that sounds absolutely impossible, but he says, you should try wearing Red Sox for a while. And it actually haunted me. And the day that I wore Red Sox, actually, again, my second attempt, I don't know if anyone's ever taken anything away from you. You've lost a tremendous amount of money. You've been betrayed. I was extremely hurt, and I was negative with everyone around me. Everyone scattered like cockroaches when I ran into any room, and it got to me pretty much not showering, shaving. It was kind of gross, actually, a lot of gross. And the day that a friend of mine called me, he basically asked me a series of questions. I'm not going to get into it now because I'm going to start breaking down because I still have a significant amount of PTSD over it. But he asked me a series of questions, 2 questions specifically, and I knew I never did this stuff again. Totally turned around, and in less than 3 months, I had 7 figures again in my bank account. She took my money, but I realized that it wasn't about money; it was about people. And as soon as I shifted my focus to serving people again, the money just starts rolling in because no one can take away the knowledge that you have. So that's very, very important to know. All right. So if you are willing to learn, you're a little bit coachable, you're open to some ideas. I'm really going to have some fun with you guys. Again, I welcome a lot of questions. You don't know what you don't know, and you don't have to apologize for, asking me questions. I love it. I enjoy it. I do this this is a passion project for me, and it's not something that, oh my gosh, someone's asking me a dumbass question. The only question that if ever someone says that to you, you need to literally run away from them, because if someone is in this business of really wanting to serve others, they should be serving you, period. All right. They should not be, belittling you for asking a question when you want to improve your life. You've invested some time here, which is really all we have in life. Most people are really driven by money, and I get it. I've been driven by money, at one point in my life as well. But if you really think about it, how much money is available in the entire universe? Like if you just had to count up all the money, how much money is there? Pretty sure you guys can unmute your microphones if you want to, but how much money is there? How much do you think?
Infinite.
Yeah, there's no limit to how much money you can have.
Yeah.
So if there's an infinite amount of money, why is there a limited amount of money in your bank account? doesn't make any sense. Like, there's all this money, why don't you have more? Because we don't fight over air, we don't fight over grass, we don't fight over the stuff that grows, by the way, not the token stuff. All right, so we don't fight over anything that's abundant, and there's abundance of everything pretty much in nature. We don't fight over that stuff, so why are we fighting over money? Like, why? Think about it. If there's infinite, why are we fighting over money? Right? Good talk. Any ideas? Again, I don't care if you shout out something that you don't, that's not, might not be accurate. At least, can we have an interactive relationship? First of all, is that fair? Can we have some fun together? Is that cool?
We probably fight over it because of what maybe others have or what we deem as what we have as little as a mindset thing, probably.
So mindset determines how much money you have or have access to.
Yeah, I always hear the whole like competition thing in real estate investing. And
Competition.
to
That doesn't-
everyone who says that, I just think that they're focusing on the wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, you're looking at definitely the wrong thing. So let me ask things in a different way. And by the way, do you want me to tell you what you want to hear or need to hear? What would you prefer?
What we need to hear.
Right, only one person. Now, again, if you're here just to be curious, that's fine. And the last thing I want to do is, do this great inspirational talk. Everyone claps, goes home, and your life is absolutely the same, right? Change is scary and change is sometimes painful, and change takes sacrifice. You have to give up something in order to get something new. It's impossible to get something for nothing. Nothing is ever free, right? There's always a sacrifice, either in time and money or in energy. You have to use one of those three things. You have to gain the experience, either pay for the experience, right? You guys have mentorship. And I think that's great because learning from someone that's been there, done that, got the t-shirt that can really walk you through a deal is invaluable. That's really important, number one. It saves you time and actually saves you a tremendous amount of money because you're not making the mistakes and wasting other people's time. And I know you probably heard time is money, but it's not. Time is time and money is money. So let me ask you a different question. Are there people that come to the US like I did, except I'm the opposite. There's a southern border and I'm the northern border. So I'm like a northern Mexican, all right? Northern South America, North America. So are there people that come to this country, but not just from South America, but from anywhere in the world, come to this fantastic country, all right? And with the clothes on their backs only, they don't understand the language, they don't speak the language, they don't understand the culture, they don't understand pretty much anything without the education that we're blessed with. And in 5 years, make more than most Americans do in a lifetime. Does that happen all the time?
All the time.
Okay, so again, is it okay if we have an interactive relationship? Is that cool? Try again.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So does it happen all the time?
Absolutely.
Right. So why? So what is it that they have done? So what happened? Where were you 5 years ago? Have you made such abundance and leaps and bounds and has such tremendous wealth and freedom in 5 years? So what have they done that you might not have? Honest question. Now, there is one word that encapsulates everything. Everything. And we take a guess. If you've heard me speak before, don't shout it out because you already know the word. All right, so let's have a little bit of fun together. So anybody have an idea as to what that word is? How can we go from absolute nothing to everything? Very quick.
Change.
Okay, the way you take off your clothes and put it back on and ta-da, I got it all.
Exactly. No, like you said before, you have to give up something to get something. So,
right, but yes, but what have they given up, or what do they do? What do they do? They're just determinations. I heard determination. They're determined, guys. A lot of you are really determined, but you're determined perhaps to stay broke. There's a ceiling. There's self-sabotage or things that are happening. And again, I'm not here to give you any talk other than just real raw. What do we have to do as a human being to not have to be? No offense, to anybody. Do you want to be in a seminar after seminar after seminar, and take, because I took seminars on how to attend more seminars, right? And as soon as you turn a switch, there's something that happens, and suddenly you're the teacher and not the student anymore. But there's a flip that happens, and I'd like, with your permission, to help you really get to a very high level. Again, fastest path to cash flow is really what I'm all about, where in a very short period of time, not get rich quick, because there are skills that have to be learned, not only in acquiring properties, but keeping them. Because if you get a property and because you're not managing anything, no Jerry Springer tenants to deal with, no tenants, no toilets, no trash, none of that shit. All right, that's delegated, all right? But there's skill sets that have to be learned in order to do that well, so you're not taking a bath when that happens. Because I know a lot of people that have lost their derrieres by buying a property that's too expensive, you pay too much, and you have the wrong management team. Those are two things that will completely kill you in this business, all right? And if you do things right, you'll make a fortune very quickly, because you can buy as many as you want, since money sources that we use, which I'll share with if you want them, don't need your credit or no credit checks, because the property that gets the financing, it's not you. It has nothing to do with you. You don't even matter. The property checks out, you can buy it, okay? So determined. What's another possibility? We're going to be here all night, guys. We can do this. I believe in you. You can do this. Is there another word?
Passion.
I know a lot of passionate people really broke. So another one.
Hard work.
I know a lot of hardworking people. In fact, I know you are all hardworking people, and you're not where you want to be.
Fearless.
Fearless. I know a lot of fearless people that died because they're fearless. Not only are they still fearless is good, but not the word. There's something you can do. You're almost there.
How about if you tell us?
Get it a little harder. Just try a little harder. You can do it. You can do this.
Consistency.
Consistency. A lot of you are very consistently doing the wrong things, making you stay broke. Now, broke has different definitions to different people. For me, if there's not 2 commas in my bank account, I feel like I'm broke. So that's my definition of broke. But everyone has their own.
Confidence.
I have a lot of confident people on this call, completely broke.
Discipline.
Disciplined, broke people. Yes.
Courage.
I have the courage to stay broke.
Risk taker.
I have a risky person that takes risky risks, and I'm riskily broke because I've taken too many and the wrong thing.
Fear.
Fear. You know what fear stands for?
Yeah.
What?
What's the curse word in there?
Oh, yeah, it's F everything and run, right? Oh, there's a curse word. Yeah, we're adults and we can't say curse words.
Adaptation.
I know a lot of adaptable people that adapt in the wrong way and stay broke. So I'll put each other, are you okay, buddy? Don't get hurt now, all right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So again, we hear everything. So if you happen to go over someone, just please mute before you run away from the police. All right. So it's behavior. All right. If you behave a certain way, you'll get a certain result. All right. And that's just the law. Now, if you behave poorly, if you start hurting people and you start going into really trying to hurt as many people as you can, there's a consequence to that, correct? There's consequences to behaviors, right?
Yes. Correct.
Why it's called a jail and prison.
So if you go to jail, prison, whatever, so there are consequences to bad behavior, right? Now, let's talk about prison. If you are sentenced to 25 years, because behavior, right, and consequences are generally a negative thing. Bad behavior, the consequence is bad, right? This is the consequence for doing something. Hey, you did something bad, there's a consequence. But we don't ever talk about the other side of the consequence, which is the good. So if someone is in prison for 25 years or sentenced, and they have great behavior, what happens?
They get out.
They get out of the prison of their own design early. I'm going to let that sit for a while. Are we all in a prison of our own design? In fact, everything that you have, the bank account, the person that you wake up next to, don't wake up next to, should never get up next to, the pet that you have, the house that you live in, everything that's around you. Is it fair to say that it is a result of your past behaviors?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So everything that we've done so far, good or bad, has got you to this very point where we have met, right? We're here together. Now, that's the behaviors of the past, right? Now, is it possible that if we change one small little behavior, just a small one, because it doesn't take a lot, small hinge opens a big door. If you shoot guns, all right, if you just an inch deviation, like when you're close, it doesn't matter, but over time, what happens? In fact, over more feet or yards or however you want, kilometers, if you're Canadian, all right, over a long period of time, a long distance, what happens to that 1 inch? Is that 1 inch a huge, massive difference in where you land?
Makes sense.
It's a question, though. It wasn't a rhetorical question. I'm asking if you guys are really
Oh,
listening.
no, it does.
Is there a difference if you just angle I said an inch, if a quarter of an inch, does it make a difference if you're at 100 yards?
Mhm.
It does. Apparently nobody shoots here. All right. Or bow and arrow, if you don't like guns. All right. If you're shooting a bow and arrow, even a quarter of an inch difference makes a big difference. So everything that's small over here is expanded. So having small little deviations in your behavior will change everything. So if you understand that if you change something today, it will definitely change something tomorrow, right? So everything that I'm going to share with you is really a change of perspective and a change of behavior, because as we get older, we get more tired. As you work harder, generally we don't make any more money, because our belief is that work equals money. You have to work hard. You have to do things that has to be hard in order to make money. I'm not saying you don't have to work hard, but it doesn't mean that you have to work over and over and over again for the same paycheck. In fact, are wealthy people doing the same things that consumers do? Do consumers do very different things than wealthy people? Wealthy people,
Yes, they do.
do wealthy people go to banks, or do they own the bank?
They own the banks.
They
More
own the
like they
banks.
own.
All right. Would you like to own a bank by the end of this whole talk? You will be the bank, even though you don't have any money, because banks don't have any money either, because they're borrowing money from others to lend you money. That's how it works. They borrow money from the Fed window when they have a loan. As soon as you sign those docs, that is a document that has value. It's an instrument that they can sell to the Fed window, that they get the money for less. So if they're giving you a loan at 6%, 7%, 8%, 3%, whatever it is, they basically take those loan documents and they borrow money on the loan that they're giving you and making a spread. And they do it over and over and over again. They don't need money to lend you money, because they have a source to lend money in order to borrow money, and they make the spread. That's what banks do. In fact, you put a deposit in the bank. Now they have money that they can also possibly lend. And then once they lend the money, there's a debt that's created that you owe, and they can sell that debt and make money on Wall Street, because it's now a commodity, and they make more money. And I don't want to get too much into finance, because this blew my mind, is that banks really don't need money to make hundreds of millions of dollars, because they have sources to borrow the money to lend the money. They're just always sandwiching themselves into every transaction. So I'm thinking, well, shit, how can I do that? How can I do that? Not only do that, but do it at scale, because doing it once is okay. But if it's a lot of work to do one deal, you're going to get exhausted to do many. So is there a way to do that over and over and over and over again, but use other people that actually want to do the work and allow us to generate wealth at the same time? Not taking advantage of people, but really helping and serving people at the same time. So wealthy people don't go to the banks. Wealthy people never use their money, our own money. They use or their own credit, because it's whatever they're putting together that funds it. In fact, when they start a company, it goes public. Everyone puts their money in there, right? Apple's using other people's money, right? NVIDIA goes up and down. These guys have hundreds of millions of shares. They don't care what happens, because they're already rich, they're already wealthy, right? They're building these assets using investor money. They're never using their own money. And you're thinking, well, shit, I don't have the resource. I don't have that. Well, hopefully after today, you'll really understand that you have everything that you need, as long as you go in that direction and behave in that direction. All right. So by the end of this, all right, we're going to show you a lot of transactions that were done from people that are most likely not as smart as you, have less than you, don't speak as many languages as you do, don't necessarily even speak English that good. all right, just to say it that way, and are doing extremely well, doing the work once and getting paid for life. Okay, all
Nosotros.
right. So, Alexander, we good? I hear you guys. Everything
Con
fine?
con la basura.
All right, I'm gonna mute you guys because you're not necessarily there. All right, so you guys want to start learning this stuff? I'll go through this as efficiently as I can. All right. All right, let me do a screen share here. All right. And I'll do my best. Here we go.
I think about Marco, it's about the passion to master whatever you do. To you, you're the kind of person that it's not about being halfway. If you're going to do it, you're going to be all in.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and I want to introduce you to Marco Kozlowski, who is one of the top professional speakers in the world, teaching people how to come together with people with money to buy properties, to rent them out, to make profits, and then to share those profits with everybody involved.
Hi, my name is Robert Allen, the author of some New York Times bestsellers you might have heard of, and I have a person to talk about today that I absolutely love. It's Marco. This is a guy you've got to know, because if you have a business, I can tell you, more than likely, your business sucks. You're spending too much time in a business that you don't have the free time that you want. You're not making enough money. You're managing things. You're doing things you hate. You need to revolt against that kind of stuff. Absolutely hate it. And build a business that you love. When you wake up in the morning, you say, I own this business and I can do today what I want to do, when I want to do it, with whom I want to do it, to make as much money as I want to do it with. And if you will listen to what Marco will tell you, you'll have that kind of business.
For the last 2 decades, I've been helping people just like you move from active income, where you have to work in order to get paid, to passive income, where you work once and get paid month in, month out, year out, stacking that cash flow, laying down the foundations of your financial future brick by brick by brick. You work once and you get paid for life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marco, thanks.
Thank you, Marco.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I really want to thank you for everything that you have done.
All righty. Cool little reel.
I think about
No, we don't hear that again. All right, sorry about that. All right, so yes, so I'm here to unleash your financial greatness and have a lot of fun doing it. So I'm going to show you a couple properties here. This is a house that we got sold fairly quickly on terms. Now we're going to give you the big idea. There are right now very high interest rates. And when there are very high interest rates, it's very difficult, very, very difficult to, as a real estate agent, to get a buyer, right? There's a lot of properties are literally going down in price just to try to get a buyer, right? Because they went up very quickly during COVID because money was cheap. When money's cheap, things roll quickly. Houses are selling like hotcakes. When money's more expensive, agents start starving. They go from multiple transactions, possibly a day or at least a week, to zero. One of the biggest real estate agents in the US just declared bankruptcy. Complete bankruptcy. They're insolvent. All right. No money because no one can get financed. So now there are sellers that want to sell. They get motivated through the 5 Ds, which we're going to get into in a minute, either death, divorce, displacement, debt, and there's a whole bunch of these, but there's 5 names, okay? And these are the reasons why people sell. And if they need to sell, and they happen to put the property either off market or on market, agent can't find a buyer. Or
If you want to navigate buying and selling real estate,
all right, let's mute you, Brian. All right, so in fact, Brian, if you want to watch something else while you're doing this, I don't recommend you stay. I don't recommend you stay at all because at least I can't do 2 things at the same time. And if there's something better that you want to do, I highly recommend that you do that, Ryan. I really do. All right. So there are sellers that need to sell. There are real estate agents that need to sell because they got to feed their family. I'm starving here. I want to feed my family. You got mortgage brokers that can't get someone qualified because they might have loose credit and their debt to income ratio now for the new buyer. They don't have the income, they're working hard on their business and they can't get qualified. Either their credit's not good enough, they need 20% down to get those low rates, they only have 15, and they really want to buy a house. They want the American dream. They just want something, right? So you've got a buyer that can't get qualified, you got a mortgage broker that's starving to death, you got a real estate agent that's starving to death, and you got a seller that's really just want to get out of there. Now, what if you were able to take those 4 problems, put them together, and make hundreds of thousands of dollars per transaction. Would that have any value whatsoever?
Yeah, you'd solve
Okay,
people's
good.
problems.
All right. Pardon me?
You would solve their problems.
Yes, and by solving people's problems, you generate wealth. So money is a byproduct of solving other people's problems. So if someone pays you a salary, you're basically solving someone's problem within the organization. You're working for someone else's dream. And if you're working on someone else's dream, because you're not, that means you didn't follow your own, right? Because if you don't follow your own dreams, you're going to work for someone else that did, right? So this property was actually abandoned. I'm not going to get into the whole story because we don't have a lot of time and you guys aren't that interactive. So I'll try to speed this up along. Where this house in Florida, as you know, there are hurricanes. This was beaten up by hurricanes. It's by SeaWorld, and this is multiple acres on a lake. And the way that this property is placed, every property has a lot of acreage, and sadly, this owner had multiple massive properties. It's 11,000 square feet, this property, massive. And he actually forgot he owned it. And grass was overgrown. You couldn't even see you couldn't see the house from the road. And his ex-wife actually was a real estate agent and said, "Hey, Ed," his name was Ed. I said, "Ed, are you gonna do something with your house?" He's like, "I sold that house." He said, "Actually, you didn't." So she lists this property and could not sell this house at all. All right. Now, she couldn't sell it. And I'm like, "Hey, if I can get this thing sold, all right, and get this guy what he wants, all right, are we good?" She's like, "Yeah, we're good. I don't think I can sell it because hurricanes beat the shit out of this thing. The windows of the back of the property were blown out. A family of deer had wandered into the house, had fallen into the Olympic-sized swimming pool that's inside the house, drowned, and died. And were there for many years. You know what a family of deer in a swimming pool inside a house smells like after a few years? It's terrible. All right. People couldn't even go in the house without yakking. All right. Terrible. So all I had the agent do is put this deal together in a way. All right. Put this deal together in a way where we're offering terms. And I'm going to go step by step on this so you really understand it. All right. Now, terms are either very good or very bad. All right. Now, most people, when they're first starting, they love the idea of owner financing. Well, it's not just people that invest in real estate that like owner financing, also people that are buying like owner financing, people that don't have the greatest credit like owner financing, right? So we know this as investors, but how about to someone that has money, that wants to buy it, that wants to keep it, that has a family, that has a local business, and also is conscious of the consequences of the IRS? Because if you actually look at the IRS, how it's spelled, it's theirs. There's no space there for a reason, because if you take the IRS, put it together, it spells theirs. So every transaction that we do, we're conscious of two partners. Murphy, if something can go wrong, it will, and the IRS. And as I said, one of the things that are forbidden to do is to take risks that are unnecessary. All right. It's forbidden to risk. Now, there's always some sort of level of risk when you're doing anything. If you step out the door, you could get hit by lightning. What I'm talking about risk is if you're not writing a big check, you're not going to lose a big check. So there's no loss as far as money, no credit. You're not personally guaranteeing anything. We're never making promises that we can't keep. We're basically just doing our best to create a transaction to serve a seller that just wants something specific. All right. Because if he had sold it, he would have been nailed on taxes. All right. So this house was in terrible condition. So we marketed specifically to people that wanted a rehab, but that were really very good at rehabs, like developers, where they could take this, restructure either the land, do something with it. And from for that specific audience, it was a cherry deal. For an end buyer, it might not have been that great, but for people that are really wanting to conserve cash because money's expensive, not put the money in the acquisition of the asset, but put the money into the developing of the asset instead. So they're saving money on the acquisition, but making money on the actual project, if that makes any sense. So we sold it at great terms, and in 18 months, ended up with $351,000 on that one deal. Now, how many of these deals per month would you need to currently surpass your incomes.
Two. 1, 2.
1/10.
1/10. Well, we got to increase your income. All right. So again, seller has problem, agent has problem, mortgage broker has problem, buyer has problem. We solve 4 problems and make 6 figures doing it. Now, in this case, it was a 18-month delay. All right. However, it was basically, if they didn't pay, the entire development would have been mine, and they would not have done that because it's significant value. All right. So that was a great deal for them. The agent got paid right away. The seller got paid right away. As far as the opportunity, got paid what they needed up front, and the rest, everyone got paid when the project was complete. So it's almost like a partnership, except the agent got paid right now because they need to feed their family. So agent always gets paid first for funding us the deal. All right. And how do we fund that? From our buyer. All right. We're going to get into the details in a second. Now, this is really important. All right. So this is from the Wall Street Journal. All right. Now, this article basically shows, this data shows the dark black line is existing mortgages, new mortgages. The gray line over here, all right, this gray line is new mortgages. For the first time, all right, ever, there's a 3.2 point gap between a new mortgage and an existing mortgage. That means the existing mortgages on the street right now are on average 3.2% cheaper than a new mortgage. So would you rather have a 6% mortgage, or would you rather have a 2.8% mortgage?
2.8.
2.8. All right. So am I boring you guys? You want me to stop? Because I can stop if you want to. All right. So there's a huge number of assets that have an existing mortgage, with sellers that need to sell, with real estate agents that don't know that you can actually take over the payments of an existing asset subject to the existing financing. All right. There's a subject to existing financing component to this, where we take over debt the same day that we have our buyer, and we sandwich ourselves into an existing mortgage, giving our new buyer a new mortgage for 30 years. So and I know that was a lot to swallow in one big chunk. All right, but let's try this. Now, when I first started, I love that this data is from 99 when I first started. When I first started, the average property had a mortgage of 6 to 10%, 99. All right. So when I was doing sub twos between 99 and 2005, it started up over here, expensive, like kind of where it is now. All right. Except the existing mortgages were 6 to 10. In 2005, pre-crash, 4 to 8. That's the average mortgage that was there. So if you're doing a sub 2 back then, these are the kinds of debts that you were taking over. 2011, getting cheaper, and what ends up happening, gotta move this guy over here. All right, what ends up happening is now we're between 2 and about 5%. So if you can take over someone's mortgage that's between 2 and 5%, and the seller just wants to get the hell out of there, and you can pay an agent for finding you these kinds of deals, they do all the work, and I mean all of it. If you gave them a video and said, this is what I want, here's the checklist of how you find them, go do the work, and when you get one of these, you're going to get a commission. And just in Florida, all right, just in Florida, there's over 236,000 of these right now. 236, all right? That's a lot of freaking opportunity, all right? So between 2 and 6%, you've got these mortgages that are literally just there with sellers that gotta sell. They can't sell it. It's not selling. The agent is starving. And if we understand how to structure that deal where agent brings deal, we take over debt at the same time that a new buyer from a mortgage broker, by the way, how much do mortgage brokers make denying someone a loan?
0.
Now, I'm not looking for someone with good credit, because someone with good credit can get a 6% loan right now, 5.9 and change. All right, just under 6. They don't need help. I want someone that is working on their business. They're an entrepreneur. And if you're an entrepreneur, you've worked your ass off to build your business. You've maybe missed a few payments. Your credit cards are up, you're up to the gills in debt. You've maybe not even missed payments. You're doing the best you can to put food on the table, clothes on the kids, gas in the car while you're building your business. And it's starting to take off. You want a house because your rent's due, or they've jacked up your rent. It's like, shit, I just want to buy a house now. And you don't have either the cash or the credit to make it happen. And you're being screwed over by the bank who wants to charge you 10% on a mortgage, making it impossible for you to survive. That's the family that I want to help. I want to help the family that has a family, has at least 10% down. I don't want 20% down. I just want 10. I want them to save that cash and build their business for them and their family. I don't want to hurt people. I want to serve people. And that 10% means that I can give an agent 2.5% because that's what they get. If they want 3, I don't care. Give them 3% because I got 10. A mortgage broker generally gets 0.5 point, 1 point. I'll give them 1.5. I'll take care of them. So I'm all in for 5 points, 5%. So if I'm getting 10%, use $1 million. If I'm getting $1 million property and I'm getting 10% down, that's $100,000. I give 5% to the team that found me the deal, found me the buyer. Now, when I find buyers, when I used to do luxury homes, I used to do auctions. And when I had an auction, I love auctions because you get the right buyers in the same place, wanting the same property at the same time. When you have a lot of people competing against each other, wanting the same thing, when they know the terms are so sweet, so good, in fact, we're beating the bank on the terms. We give them the same exact credit, the same exact interest rate as if they had perfect credit. When they just went to a bank and were asked to do 9 or 10. A 3% spread is massive for a family like that. I want to help people. I want to serve people. I don't want to take advantage of it. So when you can get, instead of 20% down, 10% down, when you get a mortgage that's around 6.5% instead of 9%, and this is a great house, what do you think is going to happen to the property? Is it going to be hard to sell or easy to sell? What do you think?
Easy.
Exactly. It sells itself. Now there's a process to this because I want as many people there as possible. All right. And I have mortgage brokers that are doing all the work over here. I have agents that are literally scouring the earth because every deal they bring you, it's 2.5% commission to 3, when they could not get a commission at all because I'm owner financing this and still giving them money. And a closing, which is at the same time, I get 10, they get 5, and it's around $50,000 a million, but it gets even better. I make the spread on the mortgage for 30 years. 30-year paydays, guys, 30 years. So instead of working once and getting paid once, nothing wrong with that. You could flip it, or it's in terrible condition. Who wants to buy it? I'll finance it. Here's the terms. Oh my gosh, it's great. And make money over time. Who's the bank?
You.
You, because this is what you're going to do. Agents are if you're, I don't know if we have any real estate agents on the call right now, right? But are there any agents right now that are just doing deal? Probably not. Every agent I know is trying to get out of the business or is now out of the business. Really great agents. And if they know, exactly what to find out. I know you're probably thinking, well, shit, I'm going to find it myself. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to save that money. You're insane. Let other people do all the work. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a week, man. And just enjoy your damn life. It's not by working harder that you're going to make more money. It's by working smarter. And if you're taking care of people, like wealthy people do, they pay people to do the work so they can enjoy their lives. If you like sports, as the owner of the team, your favorite sports team, are they on the field, on the court, on the ice, doing whatever they're doing? If they went and played the game, they'd be destroyed because they're not players or owners. What does an owner do? They watch the game. So the behavior here is you build a team that gets paid at closing, not up front. No, you don't have to shell money out of your pocket. The structure of the deal is done in such a way where no one can lose. And at closing, everyone gets paid, but the owner gets paid for 30 years. You're basically delegating 99% of the work to make 99% of the profit. Now think about that. Are you okay with having other people find your opportunities because they know exactly what to look for? You're structuring it because you know exactly how to structure it based on the parameters that I'm going to give you. All right. If this is something you want to learn and do, there's more people being denied than accepted for mortgages right now, and they get better paid on the people they've denied, which is zero payday. They get paid more. The person that is actually getting a mortgage is having to put down less so we can make monstrous profits. It's insane. All right. Now, if you ask most, and I don't know if you are a real estate agent, if you ask any real estate agent, is it legal to take over someone's mortgage? You're probably going to say no. If you actually look at line item 203 on a HUD settlement statement, which is a legal document, a federal document, line 203 is subject to the existing financing. All right. It is 100% legal, and there's a way to do it where even if the bank knew about it, they couldn't take it back. But it has to be done a very specific way that most have done completely wrong. If you've ever been bitten in the ass, I have a student that got bitten in the ass, was in a lawsuit over a sub-2 deal, and they were missing 3 important documents that would have completely changed the game. There's about 17 documents on a sub-2 where even if when it's done properly, it's impossible. Even if a bank wants to foreclose or even claims that there's been fraud, it doesn't happen. All right. Every document has to be put in its place and done well. All right. There's a very specific way to do it. And we're not just doing this with single families. We're doing this with duplexes, triplexes, and quads. And I'm actually going to show you how to buy assets and be in the flow of cash flow up to 6 units. I'm only talking about single families right now. So just from a real estate agent perspective, it's the lowest it's been in 28 years. They're making the least amount of commissions from the last 28 years. Now people look at that and they go, what? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. You know what that is?
Opportunity.
Opportunity. There we go. Opportunity. Rates go up. No one's getting a mortgage. You know what that means? Opportunity. Whenever there's something that's going down, there's always something that's going up. It's a seesaw effect. And most are listening to the news and saying, oh my God, this is terrible, terrible, terrible. And you know what? It is terrible for those that are affected by those terrible things. But how about we help people that are affected by those terrible things to win? And if you're the person that facilitates all that because you know exactly what to do and how to do it, as I've been at this, not for the same year for 25 years, what I was doing last year is not what I'm doing now. And what I'm going to do next year is not what I'm doing now, because as things change, I got to change. And I don't teach anything unless I've done it myself multiple times. Now, just from a buyer perspective, if you have a 620 to 639 FICO score, you're looking at least a 7.5% mortgage. And that's if you have 20% down. And that's on $300,000 deals. All right. That's a very low amount. As we get into larger amounts, if you have a 610 FICO score, forget about it. You might need 30%. And you're looking at possibly up to 11% mortgage with a massive amount of points up front. We're at 6.5%, period. 6.5%, period, which is really not very much, considering like we're down over here as if they just have around just about 6.5. All right. And it's a 30-year AM mortgage, which is a gift for people that have a really, really bad credit. All right. Now this house was owned by 2 real estate agents. They couldn't sell their own house. 2 years, no selling of their own house. How many years? 2 years, couldn't sell their own house. 2. We start having a conversation. They're like, you can't do that. I'm like, well, actually you can. They were going through a divorce. One was listing it, the other listed it, the other listed it. And they're like, I want to sell it. No, I want to sell it. Who gets the commission? It was ugly. All right. Like, War of the Roses. I'm like, okay, guys, let's chill out. What do you guys need? What are you looking for? So they had a debt. How much do you need over that debt? Okay, let's make it work, because they needed around about 3% over debt. Now they were real estate agents, all right, and it didn't need to be found, because this actually found by a wholesaler, all right, who wanted $5,000 to do this deal. $5,000, not 2.5% commission. Says, give me this deal and take $5,000, because I don't know. This thing has been on the market for 2 years. I don't think you can do anything. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll make a couple bucks. Says $5,000. They said yes. I was disappointed because I was hoping they'd say no. Because any offer I make at first has to have a no to it, because if I get a yes, I pay too much. All right. So I gave them $5,000. All right. No bad. 2 years, couldn't sell it. All right. They had a 1.5% mortgage, guys. 1.5%. All right. I found a buyer in 7 days, sold it for $249,000 upfront and $2,217 a month on the spread. That's after the $5,000 by the way. I would have made 250 some thousand. I got screwed. Not really. All right. Now, why did that guy only make $5,000 instead of 2.5? Well, the answer at 2.5%, because he didn't get educated on how to be a real estate agent. Well, could he have made, if he was educated in how to do this, he would have made $249,000. How much you earn is always associated with how much you learn. Learn to earn, right? So if I walked you through one of these deals, all right, if I basically held your hand and we shared one of these deals, would that have interest to any of you?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
Now, do you think I want to work with someone that complains, that bitches, that moans, and I say, hey, how about this? And they're like, I'm going to go do something else now. When you make a lot of money and again, I'm not here to brag, all right? I try to stay as humble as possible, all right? It's not always easy, all right? But your patience gets thin when you realize, you're trying to help people and most people just don't give a shit, all right? And that's one of the reasons why most don't do well is because you're not focused on the thing that's going to help you. You're focused on maybe Instagram or something else instead of actually what's going to make you some money and is going to change your life. All right. And I know we're in a distraction economy where you're distracted everywhere. I get it. I understand that. All right. So I built something that allows you to learn as you earn. So you could not be on my teat forever. All right. But I can walk you through an entire team because those that have closed deals are those and just to be clear, have closed at least 7 deals, are allowed then to help other people. All right. So everyone that I have in my tribe, I call it a tribe because it's a hive of very successful human beings that want to give back because they know that they could have not have closed that many deals had they not gotten help. So then they end up helping as well. So it's student helping student, but they become teachers very quickly because there's a huge amount of volume that comes in once you turn the spigot on. Okay. So here's a house, and this is a fear that people have. Well, what if we do this and they stop paying? Okay, so we sold it the first time, all right, made $11,000, paid off the agent got all their money, paid off the mortgage broker, got, when the dust settled, small house, all right, made $11,000, $622 a month on the difference. Now, the reason there's a difference between, the reason why it's $622 a month is if you're paying $1,100 for the existing mortgage, all right, and you're getting $1,900 on the new mortgage, you're making the spread. You're making the sandwich between one and the other, okay? So when the dust settled, you got paid at closing. You always get paid the day you close a transaction. I never bring money to the table. You got to get paid. That's just how life works. And you get monthly payments. They stop paying. Oh my gosh, stop paying. What's going to happen? Number one, all right? How the paperwork is structured, all right, is at 61 days, it reverts to another kind of contract. So there's language in the contract that we have and how the deal structure is very important because foreclosure is a pain in the ass. We solved it in almost
Especially in
every
Florida.
state. Well, in Florida, it's
worse.
It's worse in California. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
California is
Well, some
100%.
Yeah.
Like, here's the cool thing about Oklahoma is you put a 3-day notice, a 5-day notice, and then after 5 days, if they're not out, you shoot them. That's Oklahoma. It's a it's a very friendly state to do business. All right. I've never shot anybody, but that's just what they can do.
This
And
is
when
not approved by BPM.
I said I never shot anybody, nor do I want to harm anyone. But when you know that someone can
They
shoot
pay.
you if you're still there, they pay. That's the point, right? Is when there's fear, when there's a consequence to something, you get the result, right? If you can't even get someone that's a squatter and you do a deal in California, if the homeless person decides to go in, it's impossible to get them out. It's literally impossible. So we got it back after 61 days plus another 9. It's basically 91 days you get it back. All right. It's very rare. All right. So when you get your $11,000, the part of the process is to put some money aside just in case they are late. So you have a 120-day cushion, right? Most people don't stop paying immediately because they just got it. They're usually going to pay not pay within the 2nd or 3rd year. All right. But you're putting a little bit aside. So you have 120 days of cushion. And there's a reason it's 120. You got 60 days for it to revert. Then you got 30 days for them to get evicted. And then you got another 30 days to try to sell it, which is exactly what happened. We sold it again. All right. This time got $31,000 net and $912 in the sandwich. So we end up making more money. All right. And again, the how of how to do this, the how of how to structure it, the series of videos that you get for real estate agents to train them, because I got to train you on how to train them. All right. And how this works is if we decide to partner with each other, all right, because I am very careful as to who I work with and who I want to give this information to. Because number one is you can really hurt someone by taking over their mortgage. If you're all about money, don't care about people, you're a complete asshole. No offense. All right. It's okay to be an asshole, just don't be in my tribe. All right. If you have a giving heart and actually care about people and you want to spend more time with your family, you want to give back, you want to do good things you want to take care of people, that's the kind of person I want to work with in a family. I want to help families. Okay. Not if you don't have a family because you just never found the person of your dreams and you're just very picky. I get it. I've been divorced twice. I understand. People are weird, man. Relationships are hard. I get it. All right. It's not about that. It's about just, are you a decent person or not? And I don't care if you just went bankrupt a year ago. I don't care about your finances. Everyone every shit happens to everybody. All right. It's not about that. It's really about attitude. That's really more what I care about. Now, this is Ken and Jeanette. And I tease her about her hairdo all the time and she doesn't mind because that's just how she likes her hair. So I'm just going to mention it because I can't stop seeing a big hair when I take a look at her. And she knows I'm going to talk about it, so she's not upset. All right. So Ken was fired 1 week before retirement. 1 week. He worked for a company for 30 years and got fired 1 week before he retired. And he was told it was because they wanted to save money.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So no one really gives a shit about you. You think you're working for a company, giving the best years of your life from 18 to 65. I'm going to bust my ass. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm going to do what my parents told me to do, except it's not the same time as my parents were. Because back when my parents were growing up, you could be on minimum wage and still have a car and a house. A car and a house on minimum wage back then. Can you do that now? Absolutely not.
No.
So times are different. Things are way more expensive and the world has changed. So he's of the old mindset. All right. He's not a young spring chicken. All right. He got fired. He's like, well, how am I going to do this? He finds me on the interweb, on the internet machine. All right. Takes the class. Now, by the way, these classes are all on Zoom. All right. You don't have to fly to me. I used to do that well before Zoom, well before the epidemic. Because I have classes basically once a month. I only have 25 people per class or so. I like them small. I'm not looking for 1,000 people to do this. I like a small yet mighty tribe, the 300. They're small, mighty, and they could fend off. They could do a lot of damage, and I mean in a good way, because again, I want the right people with the right attitude, helping just other people, multiple families at the same time. And yes, you make a lot of money, but money can't be the purpose. Because if you're just driven by money, at what point, what are you going to do with the money? Because if I put you in a room full of money and I lock the door, you're dead in a few days. Money by itself has no value. In fact, it's not owned by you. It's owned by the Fed, which is not even the government. So in the Fed, it says Federal Reserve. It's not federal, and it's not even a reserve. That makes no sense. Federal Reserve with no reserves and no federal. All right. Conversation for another day. Things you learn when you start going to high finance. And guys, I have a high school education. I'm a concert pianist. All right. Did not go to any Ivy League school. I had to learn this the hard way through trial and error. And the stuff that I'm teaching you is not regurgitated information from other people. Everything that I put together are my own documents that have stood the test of time. I've had someone that went to an Ivy League school, Harvard, Yale, Columbia in law, and try to pick these things apart, and they couldn't. All right. So worked very hard to put the right documents together in order to really be on the cutting edge of what works. We're constantly updating those things. Anyway, this is a $1.5 million house. The loan was 1.35 million at 2%. All right. All right. If whoever's talking can mute themselves, that would be fantastic, please. Because when I can't. If someone could help me, that would be fantastic.
Got it.
So a $1.35 million loan at 2% is $5,360 a month. Now that's just P&I, principal and interest. The new buyer is paying the taxes and the interest and all the other shit. All right. I don't have tenants because I'm the bank. The bank doesn't pay your tax, insurance, maintenance, and everything else. All right. And also their new buyer doesn't have to pay higher taxes because we're just roping in a new mortgage on a higher amount without actually showing necessarily the sale online. The sale does not necessarily appear yet. All right. Again, I don't want to get you too confusing in the semantics of this is very sophisticated. All right. And it's freaking cool. All right. Everyone if you've done sub twos before, this is that on steroids. So a $1.35 million loan is $5,360 a month or so. The buyer put 150 down. We charge them 6.2%. Great couple. All right. Made 881 a month. The difference between 5,360 and 881, all right, is 3521. That's $3,521 a month or $42,000 a year. And after paying the agent, the broker, and everyone else and the seller, $103,000 in their pocket, which is more than they made at the other job. And that beats their retirement from the job that he was fired that he was waiting for. So had he not gotten fired, he wouldn't have found it. So sometimes things happen for us, not to us. Just remember that. We can't fix the past, but he changed his behavior by building a team. He understood it right away. I was part of a team, except I was doing all the fucking work, pardon my French. I was doing the work. I was doing everything. I want now you to do the work. You do what you're already doing. You're a great agent. Go be a great agent. Go feed your family and go find me 5 deals this week, 10 deals next week. There's agents right now that are turning down listings because the guy owes too much or the gal owes too much, or they're behind on their mortgage and the bank wants to take it back. Even better, because we can catch up those payments on really cheap loans. There's 836,000 foreclosures alone in Florida. All right. It's nuts. All right. It's your very own money machine, guys. There is so much opportunity right now. And as the Fed lowers interest rates, if they decide to, because a little birdie told me that it might not happen. And I'm not saying the little birdie always tells the truth, but everyone's counting on these lower rates. When? Inflation is a real thing. You know, things are costing more, right? Inflation is screwing over the average consumer 100%, because if you had money in the bank in 2000, if you had $100,000 in the bank in 2000, that money now is only worth less than 80,000, about 78,000 and change. It's lost over 20% of its value, which means if your paycheck has not increased significantly by at least 20%, you're making less now with the same money in your hand. And paychecks will never go up as quickly as inflation. But the news there is that debt is also crushed by inflation. So you want to do as many of these as possible, because that cash flow that you're getting is worth less and less and less and less and less every year. But the good news is that when they cash you out, you get all that equity, because your mortgage is being paid off way less fast than like you're paying off your existing mortgage quickly, but they're starting their amortization schedule. That means you're making more and more and more cash and equity as time goes on. Okay. So you're basically being the bank, and whenever they sell, or you can even decide to refinance them and do a whole bunch of stuff. It's massive. It's really cool. All right. So I'll open up for questions in just a second. So you just got to start thinking bigger. So I can get other people to do the work, other people to find me people that just need help, because they're on the ground, they're doing all the work, they're spending money on the marketing. Guess how much money I spend in marketing? Zero. For anything. It's forbidden to spend money on marketing. It's forbidden to use your own money or credit. It's forbidden to take any risks. Everyone gets paid at closing, including you. Listen, if you know something better, please tell me, because I don't. I'd be doing it. All right. If anyone knows something better, please let me know. You don't need a license. Someone's already licensed. There's no RESPA violations, because the mortgage broker is finding the buyer. They're getting paid at closing on the HUD. It's paid. It's freaking great, man. It's awesome. All right. You just got to start thinking bigger, like a snail with a rocket propulsion on its back. We're all snails. We all want to go at our own pace. But again, if for every dollar you made, if every dollar that you made, I made $1, how many dollars would I want everyone in this room to make? Right. I'm leveraging my time by teaching you and getting a piece of just your first deal. All right. However, I don't work with everybody. I just don't want to. I don't. All right. If all of you said, yes, Mark, I want to do this, I got to have a conversation with you. At least my team has to have a conversation with you to see if we're a good fit. All right. That's all, because I've dealt with pains in the asses before. And if you have pains in the asses in your life, and I'm not calling you a pain in the ass, if all of you are fantastic people, which you might be, all right, we have a process that weeds people out. And again, no offense. I don't care if you have $10 million. I'm not driven by money. I'm driven by really helping and serving people. And if you have a lot of money and you want to create more passive income streams, that's great. But if you're, a lot of money and kind of a dick, that's fine. You just don't belong here. All right. We just want good people. By the way, are you okay with that? Are you okay with just being around good people? Because we build communities, like you get to interact with other people want to help you with your deals as well. Like you're part of a team where you're not alone anymore. You have a whole bunch of people that want to help you.
For sure.
All right. You're not alone. And being a lone ranger sucks. All right. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but this is just a perspective. All right. What's the number of the parking space covered by the car? You need a few minutes.
87.
Are you sure?
87. Yeah.
All right. Have you seen this before?
No.
Anyone else? It might not be 87. I just said smart guy. Just see what you think.
78. 93.
46.
46. Woo! So close.
That's good.
Hard, right? Gotta do math, right? Whoops. Ah.
Put it up again. I was about to figure it out. Put it back out.
Slow down, buddy. I promise I will. I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. All right. I'm going to do this. Share. All right. Can you still see this?
Oh no, it's not yet. It's like a piece of a document.
It says crashing commercial 2.0 on top.
All right. Jiminy crickets.
Oh man, I'm sorry. He'll get it.
How about this?
Oh,
There you go.
better.
Can
Better.
you see it now?
89.
No, now it's 47.
89.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
It's 89.
Respect
This.
it.
87.
Yeah.
It's 89.
No,
It's not 89.
86.
It's 87.
86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91.
87.
Well, I did. They said 87 before.
I know that, but I didn't tell him it was right or wrong, guys. Like I brushed isn't this fun? Like, isn't learning fun? And this is perspective. Like you're the first person on the planet, and you said you've ever gotten this right this quickly. So
That's
if you can do
wild.
it, it is wild. It's a little scary, and I don't know if I'm extremely excited or terrified. We'll figure that out.
Both.
All right? We'll see that. All right. But the point is, it's just perspective, right? You're looking at it, you're doing the math, you're working so hard, and then someone just says, "It's 87, man. Take a look. This is why." You go, "Shit," right? And then you'll never, once you've encountered the problem, you'll never have the problem again because now it's simple, right? And we don't know what we don't know. And we rack our brains trying to figure things out because in school, you were lied to. You were told to pee when you're supposed to pee. Okay, maybe that's not a lie because it's a good idea, all right? You're going to eat when you're told to eat, which is what you do to work for a job. You're not allowed to work with other people because you have to have all the answers. Now, that's a bunch of bullshit. Because in business, you hire consultants all the time to solve problems. But when you're in school, you're not allowed to work with somebody else. You're not allowed to be cooperative. You're not allowed to do that because that's cheating. And then you want to be an A student because then you get the good grades to be an A student. You get to go to the good schools so you get a good job so you can work because the A students work for the B and C students that built the business. A students work for C students and B students. If you think about it, it's painfully true. Shit. I'm not wrong. All right. So you are trained to do everything perfect, to do everything yourself, because if you do everything yourself, it's going to be done right. How can you possibly leverage the most important thing, which is time? Because wealthy people leverage time. They have all the time they want to do whatever they want, and they give you money for it. That's your paycheck. So they're paying you so they have time, right?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Absolutely.
Yes.
So what we're doing is now we're paying an agent so you have time. We're paying a mortgage broker so you have time. We're paying the buyer, the seller, so they have time, and we're paying our new buyer so they save time and money. We are literally the drug dealers, all right? Because drugs sell themselves on the streets. I learned that in Vegas, all right? And I know it's a family show, but I told you, I'm going to say it like it is. I'm a transparent person. Whether you like it or not, I'm just going to be me. All right. Because everyone else is taken. If you understand that everyone is literally wanting that paycheck, and when they do exactly what they're supposed to do, everybody gets well paid, and you can do it as many times as you want because an agent gets paid for every deal they get. There's no limit. Mortgage broker right now probably has 30 deals in the trash of people that have cash and have little bruised credit that are perfect for the properties that the other agents are bringing because they don't even know that you can take over assets subject to the existing financing and wrap in a very specific way because it's complicated. It's very complicated. But once you crack that code and understand it just like this, it's easy. It's nice and easy Japanesey, and that's the point. Got it?
Yep.
Kind of. All right.
Yes.
Looks at it. All right. So I call this infinite wholetailing. All right. Because you get paid infinitely and it's not wholesaling, it's wholetailing, like retailing. All right. It's like a play on words. And I've already service marked it, trademarked it, and it's mine. All right. It belongs to me. It's my IP. All right. You're serving not 3 families, but 4 families at the same time. Massive profits for 30 years. You're giving starving agents to get to feast finally. Again, less work for more money, getting paid once, being paid for life. The sellers are easy to deal with because they need a nice place to live. You're giving them a break. No, I don't want 20% down because if you get any cash, you're going to spend it. If they owe you more money, you'll make more money on a monthly basis over 30 years. Isn't that better? Would you rather get 10 grand or an extra $100 a month for 30 years?
Cash flow.
Cash flow pays the bills. It puts the gas in the car. It buys whatever you want. There's no competition. There's zero. Nobody's doing this. Nobody. All right. 0. And I'm only teaching 25 people at a time. I don't want to teach thousands. I want everybody in my tribe to crush it. All right. This is not about how many students I can get. It's about the right students that want to learn so you can go help others. Because I want to, when my number's up, when I kick the bucket, that dash, I want to help 1 million people by the time I pass on to the next opportunity. 1 million people. And I can't do that alone. By the way, you're all invited to my funeral. All right. You're all invited. All right. Buyers are treated like royalty, not like dogs. If you ever had bad credit, I've had very bad credit. And when you have bad credit, you want to buy something, you're treated like shit, like garbage. I hated that. So one of my missions is to help people that have bruised credit, not because they're terrible people, because they're trying. I was trying. I didn't have bad credit because I was not paying any of my bills. I was just doing my best. And nothing I could do to explain that, no one would care because everything is to anybody right now in these days is you're a number. And if you don't have this number, get out of my office. And I want to change that. And if you want to help change that with me, let's go. Because you make a lot of money doing that. A lot of freaking money. It's like these buy here, pay here places, but they're charging so much in interest. They're gouging people. They say they're helping people, but they're gouging people. I want great interest rates with less down to make millions of dollars. It's great. All right. And you're delegating 100% of the work to make 99% of the profits. You're actually not delegating 100. I'm going to take that back. It's more like 99 because you do have to orchestrate the paperwork, make a couple calls to the title company. We close everything at a title company. We don't do any tabletop closings ever. All right. If you do a tabletop closing, there's a high likelihood of getting sued and untangling that transaction. It's all done at title company, guys. And it costs you less than $500 that the buyer pays for anyway. It's $500 for closing. It's not worth not doing it. All right. It's very, very cheap. All right. Now, why is now your only chance? And I mean now. All right. High rates with new loans versus low loans that are existing. And again, if the rates go down, this whole process is going to start wobbling. All right. We have 18 months as of today. If the Fed does what they say, I know they're not going to say what they ever going to do because they never do. But if they happen to keep their word, which is unlikely, we have 18 months. All right. If they change their mind, we'll have a little bit more time. But 18 months is our max window. All right. There's no marketing costs at all. We train the agents to do all the work. And by the way, if an agent says, I don't want to find that shit, are there other agents that will actually do that so they can get their 2.5% commission and find you 5 deals a week? What do you think?
Yes.
Absolutely. If one agent doesn't want to do it, who cares? Go find another one and another one and another one. Because you have 10 agents do the same thing? Yes. Are there any real estate agents? Not just in your area, in Orlando, stay out of Orlando. I'm in Orlando. Jacksonville, anywhere you want. Do as many deals as you want. Absolutely. There's no limit as to how many you can get. The problem is at that point is logistics, doing all those things at the same time. You're not allowed to work on any more than 3 at the same time. 3, we cut you off at 3 for your own protection. So I want you to do 3 well, then do another 3, then do another 3. Listen, if you do 3 at a time, if you do 12 a month, you're going to be freaking, you're not going to feel very motivated to do much anymore. There are no buyers to talk to. The buyers are grateful. You're saving them hundreds of thousands of dollars. All the commissions are paid by the buyer themselves, not you, someone else. You get paid the day you buy. There's multiple rivers of income. I even told you about the tax savings and the way this is structured. You can even do this in your self-directed Roth IRA, completely tax-free if you're a little bit older. That matters because the IRS is important. And there's ways of doing this in different kinds of trusts, not just a land trust, but there's spendthrift trusts and irrevocable trusts that most don't even know about that has huge tax consequences and savings. And again, you have a partner, whether you like it or not, the IRS, theirs. And if you understand how to do it well, you're keeping more. Because I guarantee if you think about how much tax you've paid in the last 10 years to the IRS or any federal, any government, in the last 10 years, you add all that up, if you had that right now in your bank account, would life be just a little bit easier?
Mm-hmm.
Only one person says yes. Everyone else is freaking awesome. All right. And the buyers are committed. All right. They're ready to go and it's fine. All right, guys, what lifestyle do you deserve? What you deserve to wipe your nose in whatever denomination that you want. Ken drove a bus. All right. $850,000 house. Not a big deal. 28 days sold it. Got 98,000 left over from after paying the agent. Drove a bus. All right. He said he wanted to go into real estate. His friends were laughing at him saying, oh, you're an idiot. You're going to lose money like everybody else does. Makes $732 a month or $8,784 a year. Still drives a bus. Has done a whole bunch of transactions, but loves driving bus. He loves it. So do what you love, man. And now his friends think he's lucky. It's really interesting. When you do something, you get results, you're lucky. Well, you're not lucky. You just follow the process that works every time. Ben out of Atlanta, $126,000 in 1 month, $782 for life. All right. Super easy, guys. Now this is simple, but not easy. There's going to be work. I got to tell you, this is not get rich quick. I'm making this as simple to understand as possible. All right. But the heavy lifting is going to be in training the agent, making sure they go through the role play that you're going to roll them, because you're going to basically role play with them. You're going to know all the answers. You're literally giving them the content that's already been created so you can train them. And then once they put that into a portal, there's technology that goes with this. You got to learn how to put it goes into a spreadsheet. And sadly, I had to put it that way, where you had to, basically, you just have to look at the numbers to make sure they're green. Tell the agent what to say to the seller, because you haven't talked to the seller. All right. So they go green. And as soon as they're green, you put under our own contracts, not Florida bar contracts, no flaw bar contracts, our own contracts that basically have a earnest money deposit due 10 days after due diligence is finished. And by the time due diligence is finished, we've already sold the property. So you never have a deposit to actually put down at all, unless you want to do it through your self-directed Roth IRA. And then I encourage you to put $100 from your Roth into the transaction, and the entire transaction or part of the transaction, if done properly, can go into your Roth. All right. Somebody else finds you the right players, find you deals. You control the house. You run the numbers. You get buyers to fight over it on Saturday and Sunday for 2 hours. I get all my buyers lined up. So one buyer sees another buyer. The other buyer sees the other two buyers. They go, hey, I want to buy it. No, I want to buy it. And all they do is they basically bid on it. And I'm not looking for the highest bid. I'm looking for the best profile. Now, in most classes, you're like, just take the highest dollar. Listen, if I know that I'm taking someone's, and on a $500,000 house, guys, that could be $50,000 that they've saved their entire life, and I know they'll never buy it, I'm a thief. I won't do that. I won't sleep well at night knowing I took someone's last 50 grand that they worked hard on to know that they won't be able to buy that house. Not going to happen. I'd rather take someone's $40,000 and know that they're going to make that payment all the time than someone that's just literally waiting to get evicted as soon as I take their money. They just won the lottery, they have the money, but they've never paid a bill in their life. Not going to happen. Now, that's why I really want to know that you have a little bit of the same values, because if you take over someone's debt and you don't pay their payments and you just take someone else's money, you're really hurting somebody else. And that's not in my values whatsoever. All right. And there's nothing wrong with making a lot of money, because the more money you make, the more money you can give back to the communities that really are important to you. All right. So you sell the house very quickly. It's the fastest thing is selling it. All right. And collect your big fat checks, not chicks, but checks as many as possible, and repeat as often as necessary. Now, if the buyers flake, all right, you sell them again. You just sell it again. You don't write big checks. You're not securing debt. You don't make promises you can't lose. And you can't, by the way, How can you lose in this transaction? What is the only way you can lose?
Don't follow the system.
You don't do it. If you're not doing it, you're not making any money. Are you? You're not the one busting your ass looking for a deal. Somebody else is. You're just putting the pieces together. If you do nothing, get nothing. That's guaranteed. So where will you be in 60 days? You can either be 60 days older or 6 figures richer. That's completely up to you. All right. I'm going to give you the secret recipe. I'll be your guide. All right. When you make money, I make money. This is a $900,000 house, $800,000 mortgage, 90 cents on the dollar. That's not a huge discount. 7 days after getting under contract, sold it for $56,000 down and basically almost broke even on the mortgage. But the mortgage only had 3 years left. 3 years left on the mortgage. That house paid for it in 3 years. Now, what happens after 3 years? If she's selling this and making almost nothing, but 3 years it's paid for, what happens in 3 years?
Cash flow.
All of it. All that big payment is all hers. It's only a system. That's what the Fed does. Birds try to print money. All right. That's what you can do. These are my kids. The reason I'm successful. Now, my oldest, the one on the top, just had a baby. All right. That's a very old picture. I will say that. It's the only picture I've ever found where they're all smiling in the same place. All right. Now they all have facial hair, except for my daughter, obviously, on the right. She was in Miami. All right. So this is all about infinite wholetailing. All right. This is Nancy. She has 8 kids. All right. She said, I don't have time for this. I've got 8 kids. Those were her words. I don't have time for this shit. All right. 8 kids. All right. She had a 9th kid recently. I think all she does is have kids.
I'm good.
Have people do I'm glad you're good. I'm really glad that you're good. It makes me happy. All right. She did $40,000 on that deal after paying everyone else. Look, this guy in New Jersey, just look at this guy. All I can say is just look at him. All right. $89,000, 62 days, $917 a month, $11,000 a year. That's over $400,000 over 30 years. All right. Mary, West Virginia. And I'm talking near West Virginia. All right. 85,000 with $1,800 over 53 days. All right. So these are my upcoming event dates. All right. It's all on Zoom, September 27th, October 25th, November 22nd, and I have possibly one in December. All right. I'm almost full for December 27th. I'm pretty sure that I don't want to make a promise I can't keep. I believe I might have a couple spots, but I might not, because I just spoke for Les Brown. There was 1,000 people in the room, and I know that we probably smoked it. I'm not sure. So when you I'm going to give you a URL. And by the way, anyone that stayed to the end as of now, if you are here, anyone that goes through the process, because I have an application process, you're going to get, no matter what, we say, hey, you're maybe not ready yet. This isn't for you. This is maybe not a good fit for now, but I'm going to give you some marketing stuff. So at least you're going to make some money anyway. So are you guys okay with that? So no matter what, I want to make you some money. Are you cool with that?
Yes.
I want to give you value. All right, good. All right. Now this is 100% an event that will put 6 figures at will into your bank account. I don't know of anything that has a faster path to financial freedom, which is literally the fastest path to cash flow. Forbidden to use your credit or cash. No risk. You get paid the day you close it. I show you how to negotiate everything. It's all pre-done. You start doing deals today, tonight, if this is something that you want to do. You get paid to learn. You earn and learn at the same time. And we will help you until you close your first transaction. In fact, whenever we do a deal together, whatever you pay, you get back first, then we split money. All right. So whatever you put in, you get your money back first, then we split, because you got to be paid back for the investment that you took in yourself. Because this is an investment first in yourself, then we split. Are you okay with those terms?
Yes.
All right.
Perfect.
Now, again, you got to get paid back first. All right. Any money that you put in, you have to be paid back, then we can split. All right. Now, we do, I have a grant that's possible. When you apply and you qualify, there might be a grant available. Just one, though, just so you know. All right. You got to stop making other people rich. All right. It's your turn to really help serve others and make them, be wealthy by serving others. Now, I know a lot of you would love to come, no matter how much it costs. All right. Now, by the way, if this was 10 grand, would it be worth it? It was 10 grand for you to get your first 10 grand back, because it takes about 90 to 120 days for your first one. That's it. There's a lot of opportunity. If it was 10 grand, which it's not, would it be worth it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Remember, the first deal you get double your money back. Well, you get your first 10 grand back, and then we split. So you're going to make, and everything we split is for 30 years. All right. There's no sales tax. It's tax deductible. So you can write this off. All right. This is 100% write-offable. All right. Comes off your taxes. Your spouse, parent, or child can come for free, up to 3 family members. So you and 3 other people. So you have a kid, you have a spouse, you have a girlfriend. Don't have your girlfriend and spouse. That's weird. Whatever. Just I highly recommend that you bring family members to learn with you. All right. I have a spousal 911 pack. I know what it's like to buy something. Shit, I just met this guy. I just bought something. She's like, what the hell? Or he's like, what the hell? You said you would never do this again. I got a whole section for spouses. All right. You'll love it. So will they. All right. And by the way, the first day of the training, when you attend the first day, if this isn't the best shit you've ever done, if you're totally thrilled, if you're not satisfied, if you don't think this is for you for whatever reason, even if we're a good fit, at the end of the day, say, Marco, this wasn't for me. No problem. I hit a button, you get your money back, and it's done. All right. I don't do this to entrap anyone and take anyone's risk. I want this to be 100% risk-free because most people are too chicken shit to try anything. All right. And they're afraid that they're going to lose money. You're not going to lose money. You're forbidden to use any money. And just love the first day. Great. Stick around. You don't love it. Fine. See you later. I hit a button. Don't need your money. Not interested. All right. Not even close. All right. This is not what I do this for. All right. So this is an investment in yourself. I want you to remember that because you get paid back first. It's Starbucks a day for 3 years. Most people go to Starbucks every day. You've already paid for the program. Small home theater system, college that teaches you how to stay broke. Franchises cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, obviously. All right. The investment in yourself is now, I didn't say it was 10 grand. It's not because it's $9,888, but I'm going to give you a better deal. All right. So if everyone said, Marco, and by the way, if you were to go to my website, it is $9,888. That is the investment. All right. But obviously I want to take care of you guys. Is that the best I can do? All right. The experience is $9,888. Remember, you get an entire 3-day class. That's the beginning of the program. Actually, the program starts before when I give you today, those that enroll today will get a marketing program where you're actually going to start getting deals immediately. Then I'm going to put you in a community as to what to do with those leads. And if there are any leads that are pretty good, I'm actually going to call those sellers on your behalf to help you close a deal even before you come to the training and get your 10 grand back, if you're paying 10 grand. All right. But again, you're not, I'm going to give you a better deal. All right. A much better deal, $7 off, because that's just the kind of guy I am. All right. Enough of that, Marco. No one likes that deal. All right. I'll give you payment options. All right. Now, just so you know, it's just under 6 grand. All right. It's I believe 5,777 for this group. 5,777. That's with support, which means that we will ride you like a rented mule. All right. For that amount to make sure that we walk you through your first deal to get it closed as soon as possible. So you get your 5,777 back. If you wanted 10 grand back, pay 10 grand. I don't care whatever you pay, you get it back. All right. And then from there, we share those things. All right. Share the future. And the more deals you do, the better it is for me. Now we only share the first deal because or we'd have to charge you the 10 grand. All right. If you want to pay 10 grand and not share, that's fine, but I'd rather share it and be done with it. All right. I want to make it as affordable as possible for you. You can also do it in 3 payments. All right. It's below 2,500. It's complicated. There's an algorithm and I don't know how much it is because I'm so used to charging it for 10 grand, but it's less than 2,500 in 3 payments. 3 payments. If you want to split over 3, you can do that. However, it might be less than 2,000. It's way less than 2,500. It might be 2,100, 2,200, but way less than 25. All right. So if you do it in 3 payments and you happen to not want to do the second or the third payment, then for 1 payment, you can come to the class, but you're not getting the support. All right. So there's no support, meaning that there's not a channel for you to see if you're doing every step right. You still get all the content, but having a channel where someone is helping you do everything right without making a mistake is very valuable. All right. And if you happen to not make the second or third payment, we downgrade you until you catch up. That's all, but you still get all the goodies. All right. So you have 2 options, just 1 payment or 3 payments or pay in full. If you pay in full, there is a significant discount. All right. And you get 100% support until you close. And just so you know, there's a 3-year time limit for you to do a deal. Now, every time someone enrolls, we take your picture. All right. We put it in the wall of my office. I don't want to see your picture on my wall for 3 years, please. All right. Because if I don't see you, I don't know that you don't have results yet. That's how I operate. Because if you're seen, you're heard. So I have a handful of pictures on my wall. And if it gets anywhere past a year, we're going to have a conversation on how you need to step it up a little bit because I don't want to see your face on my wall that much. Now, this is an Airbnb that I have. It's not my house. Well, it's not my house because it's an Airbnb. It's and it's very important to me for you to not stay on my wall for a very long time, because results is all I care about. And the only time you ever get to thank me is when you close a deal. All right. No matter how good the content is, you say thank you. You will hear me say only thank me when you close, because at the end of the day, it's not a clap and a thank you. I want you to change your life, your family's life, and by doing one deal, you've helped a real estate agent's family, you've helped a seller's family, you've helped a mortgage broker's family, and you've helped also the buyer's family by saving money at great rates and smoking the bank. All right. And you get 100% paid back on your first deal, and we split from there. All right. So to take advantage of that, all right, it's BPM Marco Rocks. All right. I'm going to put this in, I believe, the chat where someone else is. I don't know if I'm still sharing my screen. Was I sharing my screen? I hope I was. All right. So it's BPM Marco Rocks. All right. BPM. So it's BPM Marco Rocks.
I just put it in
Now,
the chat for you guys. Oh, whoops, sorry, I messed up. Put
no, you didn't. It was
an S at the end.
Yeah. So BPM. Now, just so you know, that's the application. I'm not asking you for any money right now. All right. Because we have to see if we're a good fit, and we can figure out whatever the payment plan is that you want. All right. So when you fill out this application, we're going to ask a couple questions. You're going to talk to one of my people, all right, that are specifically have already closed deals, and they're not ready yet to even help you or mentor you, because even though they've closed the deal, they're not qualified to help and mentor you in any way until I train you. All right. And they don't do that. All right. So it's 1777 with no support. Thank you. 1777, no support. And I think it's 3 payment, but I don't want to say anything because I don't want to say anything. I know it's 1 payment of 1777, or it's 3 payments and then we downgrade you from there, but no one wants to get downgraded.
100% apply.
Right. Right.
Apply.
That's right. Right.
Definitely apply.
Yeah. Well, everyone, well, don't apply if you don't like helping people, and don't apply
Yes.
if you're a butt crust and you haven't had fun since Reagan. All right. Whatever. It's just, you know who you are, right? It costs nothing to apply. We're going to get to know each other. We're going to give you some tools and skills, no matter what happens, right? If you want to do it and you just don't have the cash, I get it. We'll give you some stuff you're a great fit, but you don't have the money yet. No problem. Here's some tools to go make some money. So when you have some money, if you want to come back, you can. If you want to go spend it and buy some lottery tickets, no problem. We never see you again. It doesn't matter. Nobody in my organization works for money. We're all volunteers, including myself. All right. As long as we are serving people and meeting our mandate, just so you understand the kind of stuff I do, I'm buying 120 unit apartment buildings. We're in the process of closing 846 units in Memphis, 846. And we have 2, all right, 24-hour daycares that we're opening for the residents, where anyone that wants to have 24-hour daycare gets it for free if they're a resident, because people need to have affordable daycare, and free, I think, is affordable. All right. And by doing that, you have a community of people that never want to leave. And we're under market rent, by the way, as well. We're taking care of our community, and we have tenants that never want to get out of there, and which is the most important. We give a better value for less money, smoke the competition in a safe, drug-free environment. So that's the kind of stuff I put together. So once you do one, you're gonna and you're a good fit, then you're gonna be the more people in the tribe have access to the right people. You can't do things on your own. It becomes a really good community of people that really want to help and serve other people, right? So there's a lot of great stories of people that we've impacted and lives that we've really served. And I want to serve yours and your families by making you have a behavior that is time-tested, proven, works 100% of the time, as long as you apply it. Right? If you do nothing, I guarantee nothing's going to happen. But you'll see that when you apply the tools that I give you, you get the exact, even from down to a response rate. Send this email. There's no marketing cost. All right. Here's where you get some people that are needy. Send out 25 emails, search 25, you're going to get 8 replies back. You're going to get 8 replies back. It's like clockwork, right? So, and again, try it, don't love it, see you later. At least you gave it a shot. Most people don't. So that's that. Okay, so once again, BPM Marco Rocks. I think I ran a little bit late, so I apologize.
Thank you,
BPM
guys.
Marco Rocks, BPM, like, all right, Marco Rocks at no, BPM Marco Rocks.
.com.
.com. Yeah.
That's the one. It's
That's
late,
it.
guys.
That's that.
Thank you
So
guys.
apply.
So much.
All right.
You guys.
Apply only if you want to make a lot of money serving other people. And let's see if we're a good fit. If we are, great. If you're a good fit, let's go figure it out. If you're not a good fit, we'll give you, or you're not ready yet, no problem. We're going to give you some tools anyway, just for showing up. We want to give you value. So that's that. I appreciate you.
Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna
Thank
send
you.
each and every one of you a thank you email as soon as we hop off of here. So please look out for an email from me. Please apply for everyone who wants to work with Marco. He's gonna be giving you guys a free gift as well. So that's another $497 value added on. So go apply bpmmarcorocks.com. And we did record today's session, so please review the recording. We'll have it ready for you guys within, then I'm gonna work on getting it done by tomorrow within 24 hours. So please keep an eye out for the recording. It'll be on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@bpmaria. And Marco, amazing. Thank you so much. It's always
Appreciate
a
you guys.
pleasure. You guys, I hope I gave you enough warning. I love Marco. He's spicy, and I think we just need it sometimes. We just need it sometimes. So I'm super grateful for the time, and I know we ran late. So my winner for the raffle, 1 year BPM Maria membership.
You remembered.
Daniel S. Congratulations. All right, so congrats, Daniel. I'll get with you and Daniel S, just to be clear. And then guys, please, if you're interested in working with Marco, bpmmarcorocks.com, go apply. It's not going to last forever. Marco's ready, wants the people who are ready to take action and get to work. So please go apply, bpmmarcorocks.com. Free gift for the people who are going to be working with Marco. Let us know what questions you have. I'm going to be sending everyone an email very, very soon. So look out for that. And thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you next week.
Bye for now.
Marco, thank
Thanks
you
so much.
so much. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. See you next week. Bye-bye.